Hello Year 12 and welcome to this, the third video of our fourth topic in the normal distribution. We are comparing z-scores today. In our last video we were calculating z-scores, and a reminder, z-score is a measure of how many standard deviations one score is above the mean. Right? How many standard deviations above the mean? Negative z-score, below the mean. So we are going to use z-scores to compare individual scores in different data sets. Right? And we often do this. These questions are very often posed with school results, with assessment marks or something like this. So here we go. First of all, I've got a little bit of a table for Ashley. Maths, science and history. Marks, means and standard deviations. Now the mark is the score, and the mean and standard deviation, we're quite familiar with already. So the z-score for each subject. I'm going to do three of them. I'm just going to have to work this out. I'm going to say Z maths equals, now, we need the score minus the mean. 80 minus 75, divided by the standard deviation of 16. And what does that equal? I'm going to need my calculator. And here's some I prepared earlier, right? So we need to work out the z-score for each of these three things separately. And it's the score minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. And when we do this, we can see, in fact, that while, if we just look down these results, history would appear to be in the middle. Yeah, but it's the only one that scores below the class mean, right? So that has a negative z-score, has a negative z-score of negative 0.8. So, in fact, we would say that is the worst performer, history here, whereas science might have the lowest mark of 60, but it has the highest z-score of 0.5. Right? So, by many measures, we would say that science has been Ashley's best subject here. Right. In which subject did you perform best? Justify your answer. We're going to say science. I'm going to say science. Because her mark was 0.5 standard deviations above the mean. I'm going to say that is z equals 0.5, while in her other subjects the z-score was lower. Now, you could make an argument, and people certainly do, not always successfully, that high mark is a good result. Right? Ashley got fewer things wrong in maths than she did in science, so maths is better. Maths result is better. I think you need to take into account that the level of difficulty. Now, it depends on this cohort, what effect that has, but if we sort of say that we've got a large, fairly typical cohort, then this is saying that the science test was easy because it had a mean of 54 or easier. That the history assessment was quite hard because it had a mean of 78. So, you might say, well, maths was the best subject because you got the highest mark. I don't think, if that appears on an exam, that you're going to be marked correctly for that. That you need to show a deeper level of understanding. That it's assumed you've been taught about z-scores and how to compare them, and so you should recognise that as a more sophisticated tool. Right? You should use that to justify your answer there. Rightio, that's comparing z-scores. They are handy little things. I kind of like, sometimes, to give you your topic test results as a z-score. Because, it tells you something and it means that you've got to engage with this stuff. Anyway, I will perhaps give you some information to be able to work those out in class. And I will also be there in class to answer any questions that you may have arising from this video. See you there.